welcome to my channel. I absolutely love makeup, so I thought I would try making some videos. I absolutely love fall, so I thought that I would do a few fall looks, and this is my first video, so I hope you enjoy. So I just put my hair back so I can go ahead and put on some foundation without it getting in my hair. So since my neck is a little darker than my face at the moment, I'm gonna go ahead and mix two foundations. I'm gonna use the Josie Maran Vibrancy in shade Supernatural, and then the L'Oreal True Match Lumi in shade Warm. I'm not sure what it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a pump of that, and then also just a pump of the Josie Maran, like that. And then I'm gonna take my buffing brush, is Morphe M439, and I'm gonna swirl it around on my hand like that. And then I'm gonna start on my right side, and I'm gonna bring that down my neck a bit just so it blends nicely. And I'm gonna take a little more of each hand there and blend that together again so I can get the other half of my face. I went on a run earlier this evening, and I could smell that someone was having a fire, a natural fire in one of their apartments, and oh, it just smelled so amazing. I think I like fall even more than summer, even though fall's cooler, but there's just something about it. Like, I love horror stuff, so it's the only time I can force my friends to watch horror movies with me and not feel guilty. Alright, so now my foundation is all set. I don't really have a concealer that matches my tan at the moment, so I'm gonna mix two. I'm gonna do the Tarte Shape Tape in Fair Natural, and then I have Maybelline Concealer Medium 25, and then I'm just gonna take that Tarte, and then I'm just gonna put that on first underneath my eyes here like this, and then I'm gonna go over it with the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. I'm just gonna go ahead and blend that and bring that down my cheeks and nose. I also want to bring that up onto my eyelid a bit. I like to sometimes use concealer as primer for my eyes and then put some eyeshadow primer over that as well. But I find that concealer sometimes is like a good primer all on its own, and I don't use eyeshadow primer. Alright, so now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and do my eyebrows. You can go ahead and take my hair down because I'm done applying foundation. So now I can go ahead and do my eyebrows. And for my eyebrows, I know you can't really see this, but I use the Sigma medium brow powder. It looks like this on the inside. So I usually use this darker shade on the outer half of my brow and then the lighter shade on the inner part of my brow. And I just take my Sigma small angle E65 brush here, and then I go in with that darker shade. Forgot to brush out my brows first. So I'll usually brush them first just to shape them a bit, and then I'll go in with the brow powder. And I use the powder to just kind of help shape it a bit more. I'll usually start out with the natural shape of my brows and just kind of fill in any dry patches or bald patches that I have. Not a good brow day for me. So on the inner part of my brow here, I usually will take a little bit of the lighter shade and just underline first part of it, and then just use it to push up. I won't really go in with any product here in this part of my brow, the upper inner part, because they're already kind of dark there, and I don't want to make it darker than it already is. Alright, so next I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyelids, and I'm going to use the Too Faced Shadow Insurance here. And what I do is I take some on my finger, and I don't need much at all. Probably about that much if you can see that. And then I just pat that on my lid. And I also like to use it on the upper part of my eye as well. That's more towards my eyebrows to minimize any transfer. I don't know why I'm doing this with my left hand because I'm right-handed. But with some things I'm like oddly ambidextrous. Alright, so now that my lids are primed, I'm gonna go in with Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry palette. Oh my gosh, I absolutely love this palette. particularly because there's so many cool tones. It's a great neutral palette, and all of my neutral palettes I feel like are warm tones, so this is a really nice change of scenery, and it's perfect for fall. I also really like this bloom color here. I wasn't really sure initially how I'm gonna make it work, so I'll do a look with that next time. But yeah, so today I'm gonna go in using these two in particular, Cyborg and Slate, if you can see that. The two gray silvery shadows, and I am obsessed. Cyborg looks so nice. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start. The first shade I'm gonna use here is this the shade called Fresh, but I'm gonna go in with this Fresh shade here and just go over my entire lid with that. Alright, so the next shade I'm going to go in with here is this shade Twig. It's a really cool brown, which I really like because I don't have any cool browns at the moment, so I really like that. By the way, I'm using the Morphe M518 brush here, and I'm just going to take that and go into my crease a bit. And since my eyes are kind of hooded, I like to look down when I'm applying shadow, just so I make sure it doesn't spread to the lower and upper part of my lids that I don't want it on. Love that, it's so nice. It's just so subtle and so sheer, but it's so cool at the same time. I love that. The next shade I'm gonna use now is Dystopian. It's this really dark chocolatey brown, but also with cooler undertones. So I'm gonna use that on the outer corner of my eye. I'm not gonna use that much. I'm just gonna work it in my corner and bring it up a little bit, and also bring it in. And I feel like whenever I apply eyeshadow, I always just kind of raise my brows a bit, just because there's more skin than to work with. Because when I don't pull my skin up, it just kind of like sags, and there's not as much skin to work with. So I usually pull my eyebrow up when I'm applying stuff, especially in my crease. I'm actually gonna use a narrower brush. I feel like it's getting a little higher than I want it to. So I'm gonna instead use the Morphe M513, which is similar, it's just a little flatter. So I can really get in the crease and control where I want that color. There you go. So I've been really tempted. I know I'm not using any of these palettes right now, but have any of you heard of Huda Beauty stone palettes that they have? They're so beautiful. I was up till like 1 in the morning watching tutorials about them last night, and they're so beautiful, but the pigment in them just sucks. So I don't think I'll be getting them, but it's so unfortunate. I just love them so much, especially that emerald one. I just feel like there aren't really many good green palettes right now. So it was really nice to see that, but then it just sounds like it didn't really pan out. So I will say that this shade Dystopian, this dark brown, is just a little difficult and patchy when I'm trying to blend it. It's good for being like such a dark shade, but it's also kind of difficult to just blend. Alright, so now I'm gonna go in with the shade here, Slate. This is just a matte gray, and I'm gonna go over my lid with that and also put that in my crease. And put that on that outer part of my lid. And just kind of blend it in there. And it's okay if it doesn't look, or if it gets a little far in on the lid, because I'm gonna make this area a cut crease, so it's okay if it doesn't look great right now. So I just picked up this palette within this last week, and I will say that, I mean, it's great. Most ABH palettes are. As far as the colors and how it applies. There is a lot of fallout, but I've also had that with other ABH palettes, so I also have Modern Renaissance, and I feel like the same thing has happened there. Really, really pigmented colors, but a lot of fallout. So, what do you do? Alright, so before I go in with the Cyborg color, I'm actually gonna take I'm going to take Teak over here and I'm gonna put this on the outer part of my lid. So I'm just gonna go in with my finger and I'm just gonna pat that on the outer part of my lid. So now I'm gonna go in with some concealer and just put or carve out the front part of my lid. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. The reason I'm doing this is so when I do put on that shimmery silver shade, it just gives it more pop. Alright, so next I'm gonna take the Sigma Eye Shading E55 brush here, and I'm gonna spray that with some MAC Fix Plus matte setting spray. So I'm just gonna spray that a bit so it picks up that shimmer better. I normally apply shimmery shadows like this with my finger, but since I just put on or put concealer in for that cut crease, I'm not sure how that would go. I'm not happy with how that is applying, so I am gonna try it with my finger and see. Oh, that's much better. Ooh, I love that. I love how that turned out. And then I'm just gonna take more of that Cyborg shade. That's what I'm applying on my lid right now, that shimmery silver. And I'm just gonna put that a little bit in the outer parts, just not as much as I'm putting in the inner part, but I'm gonna put a little bit of that on the outer parts just to blend that out. And then I'm gonna take Morphe A18 brush right here and just pull that Cyborg silvery shimmer out of it. And I'm just gonna go in with the Morphe M518 brush that I used earlier and blend it. And I'm actually gonna go in with a little bit of this black shade, Noir here. And I'm just gonna take a little bit on that brush and tap that off and just put that on the outer parts just to give it that extra contrast. Now it's a lot harder to talk while I'm doing makeup than I thought it would be. Like for some reason, just like explaining as I'm focusing is just not as easy as you may think. And then again, I'm just gonna take a brush from earlier, Morphe M441, and I'm just gonna go in and blend that all together. And then I'm just gonna use this brush that came with the palette, and I'm just gonna take some of that twig, and I'm gonna go underneath my eye, bring it down. I have to look down to do this because I'm wearing contacts, and otherwise it'll mess up my contact if I don't look down or put my face down and look up. And I'm gonna connect that to that black and dark brown up there, the upper part of my eye. And I am going to go in with that Dystopian again, and I'm just gonna take that and put a little bit of that on my lower lash line just to really smoke out this look. Oh yeah. I am going to go in with the Sephora Eye Crayon in black. And I'm just gonna take this pencil liner and go in my lower lash line right outside of that as well, and just kind of smudge that. And I'm also gonna do my upper waterline as well. And then I am gonna go in on the on my top lid and use Kat Von D tattoo liner. Since I will be applying false lashes, I want to have this just so the band isn't showing. I did consider making this a winged liner look. I think that would look great as well. But since it is kind of a dramatic look, I just wanted to focus on the colors and the contrast rather than drawing attention to the eyeliner so much. So I'm gonna go in with these new lashes I just got by Sonia Kashuk in number 615. I think that's the type that they are. And I wanted something bold and pretty dramatic for this look. So we'll see how it goes. I've never used this brand of lashes before, so we'll see how it goes. Before I put on my fake lashes, I'm gonna first go in with the Benefit Bad Gal Bang mascara right here. This is my absolute favorite if I'm going out at all. It's just like a really dramatic black mascara, and it gives me a bunch of so much volume. It's just amazing. It does take a little long to dry, and there's a little bit of fallout, so I'd say those are the only drawbacks I have with it, but it's, other than that, it's my favorite mascara. The volume is just unreal. And I'm also going to use the same mascara for my lower lashes as well. So as far as for my fake lashes, before I apply them, I'm just going to go ahead and trim just a little bit of that off. It's a little long for my eyes, so I'm just gonna trim the end off. I like to use the Duo brush glue in clear. And I just go ahead and brush that along the back of the lashes. I'm gonna let that dry. Before I apply it, I'm gonna let it dry for about 30 seconds. Usually I apply lashes by just going in with my finger and then adjusting it afterwards, so I'm gonna do that. And I do it by getting the middle on there first. Alright, so this is my first time using these lashes, and I will say they're okay. The band of these is so black, which is good for this kind of look. As you can see, I only have it right now on this eye, and this eye don't have any lashes right now. Since the band is so thick, I had to go in with the eyeliner again. Lashes on my nose. And I just had to add some more to that. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to see that. So now I'm gonna go ahead and apply the other one. Okay, so now I have both of my falsies on, and I will say that I absolutely love how they turned out. I really like these. I would definitely use these lashes again. I just wish the band wasn't so thick on them. So now all I have to do for my eyes is add just the highlighter at the top there. So I'm gonna go in with this shade Pearl. It's just like a shimmery, champagne-y color. And I'm just gonna go in with my Sigma Pencil E30 brush, and I'm just gonna take a little bit of that pearl and just touch where the arch of my brow is, just for that pop. And then I'm also gonna take a little bit, just put it in the corner of my eye. Ooh, I love how this looks. This is a great highlight color. Ooh, yeah. Alright, so next I'm gonna do blush, and I'm gonna go in with my favorite Hourglass. It's called Brilliant Nude. This is what it looks like. It's kind of a highlighter and a blush in one, which I absolutely love. Just gonna take that and tap off the excess. And I like to pat my blush on. I feel like that doesn't drag around my foundation as much then. So I'm just gonna pat it on and start from my apples of my cheeks and go all the way back here to by my hairline. Then I am just going to add a little bit of bronzer, and I use this Pixie Subtly Sun Touch shade here. And I just used the brush it came with, this Pixie brush. I feel like it does the job fine. So I'm just gonna take this and just like to go along the edge of my face. I generally like to hold my hair back when I'm doing this, otherwise it kind of gets in my hair, and that's not cute. I do feel like this bronzer is pretty sheer, so if you want something that's a bit more dramatic, I wouldn't recommend this. I just like that it adds just a little bit of color to my face, and that's just enough for me. Then next I'm gonna go in with a highlighter, and since this is a silvery look, I'm gonna go in with my Hourglass Ambient Pure Strobe Light. So this color here in the middle, which is white, and I'm just gonna take my Sigma Tapered Highlighter F35 brush and put that on tops of my cheekbones. I love this highlighter because it just makes your face look kind of wet and dewy. It's not really glittery, which, I mean, is fine, but it's not what I want with this look. I just love how subtle it is, and it's very buildable. I definitely recommend this palette. I'm just gonna put a little bit on my Cupid's bow. And I can't decide if I would rather go in with a nude lipstick or a really dark lipstick. I feel like either would go nice with this look. I think I'll try dark and see how I like it. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with this shade here by Buxom. It's called Voodoo Spice. It's like a perfect purpley red. I saw this when I was in Ulta the other day, and I absolutely loved it. So I will say that I love this color. However, this lipstick is really hard to work with. I just spent way too long trying to get this to work. but I think I need, or I got a bad lipstick. I love this color, but I will be returning it and trying to get a new one because it's just not working well. And that is the finished look. I'm very happy with how it turned out. I love Sultry palette. I definitely recommend it. You can do so many looks with it. This is obviously very dramatic, good for going out on the weekend. And if you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Bye.